Am I the asshole? Wife's family wants to move in with us and we said no. 3 years ago the wife's mother and boyfriend moved out of state to go live with grandma. Years later, now, grandma passed and mother-in-law wants to come back to the area. They have unrealistic expectations of being able to find property as they both have very little income. My wife has 3 brothers. One brother is isolated and blocked all communication. James lives cross-country and Tom lives close to us. James and Tom keep in touch with mother-in-law and are trying to help. Quote. Tom, one of my wife's brothers, always was very vocal of taking care of mom when grandma passed. Now that she has passed, he has no room and can't take care of mom until years from now after making false promises. My wife and I are the only ones that own property. So we are looked at as the ones that should house mom. My wife has had very minimal contact with her mother in the 10 years of marriage. Not once did we ever pretend to be able to help. We live our own life and have never asked any of them for help or opinions. Whenever we get contacted, it's because something is needed. We said no to housing them but offered our time to help find a reasonable priced place. However, every reasonable option seems to have an issue. They basically made poor decisions and have some options but are treating us like we are the only option. Now we are being pushed by each sibling to make a temporary commitment to house mother-in-law, boyfriend, and animals. AWTA for standing our ground and not accommodating? Not the asshole. You know it wouldn't be temporary. They'd never leave if you let them stay for even a week. Stay firm on your no. The fact that a grown couple had to go live with their elderly parent and then expects their adult children to house them is absolutely ridiculous. They can find a place to rent until they're ready to buy. Or get an RV trailer and move around. Something. They have options, but they don't want to use their money. Not the asshole. The decision to house mother-in-law is not a committee decision among the family to pick you. No is a complete sentence. You have made an offer that works for what you can give. Stand on that and keep saying no to more. It is not your obligation and make the family aware. Pushing against your boundary will end in you withdrawing all other offers of support. Then do it. Something tells me the NC brother has already figured this out. Winking face. Not the asshole. It seems your wife doesn't even have a close relationship with her mother. You also don't know how long this temporary commitment would last for. Mother-in-law and boyfriend might very well refuse to leave your home once they are there. Helping this find a home for themselves is a much more reasonable solution. Not the asshole. My husband and I invited his mom to move in with us and both had major regrets afterwards. Just don't do it. I learned a lot about narcissism and feel like I understand my husband and his childhood a whole lot better now. But it was a very hard lesson. Don't be like me and just skip that whole process. We would be super reluctant to have anyone live with us again. I was so afraid that she would never move out, but she finally did. Sounds like your wife isn't all that close to her mom anyway. You don't owe her anything just because you have a house. Also, trust the feelings your wife has about her mother even if she can't articulate it very well and none of it sounds all that terrible to you. Again, don't be like me. Not the asshole. Whenever we get contacted, it's because something is needed. If they only talk to you when they want something, I would be less inclined to be generous. Now we are being pushed by each sibling to make a temporary commitment. They would not leave. I would go as far to say that letting them stay with the both of you was the plan all along. After all, the siblings would be off the hook, so they would be happy. They see you and your wife as their safety net. Don't give in. Not the asshole. Do you have a good fence and security camera? Am I the asshole for spoiling my girlfriend's cousin's engagement? This happened back on July 4th, but people are still sore about it. My girlfriend's cousin, let's call her Miranda, invited us to her place for a barbecue. A few days prior, Miranda posted a picture on Instagram of her and her boyfriend, George. It was a photo of him on one knee proposing to her. The caption read something like, "I said yes. Can't wait to marry my love." She has a lot of followers, and a lot of people liked it and commented with congratulations. My girlfriend and I both liked it and commented as well. A few days later was the barbecue. George and most of her family was already there. After we got settled, we both said congratulations to them both. Everything went silent. Miranda, George, and their parents looked horrified. Miranda's parents said, "You told them?" Exclamation mark quote. And she shook her head. Of course everyone around them was surprised and said things like, "You guys are getting married?" Congratulations. My girlfriend and I instantly knew that the rest of their family didn't know yet. It was so awkward, and Miranda and George seemed very uncomfortable. Later, Miranda's mom angrily took us aside and told us that it was supposed to be a surprise. George was planning on doing another proposal at the barbecue, this time for the family. We explained that they already announced their engagement online, and the mom told us that most of Miranda's family doesn't use social media. Apparently the first one was just for friends and the internet. Later, George ended up proposing again anyway, but it felt so awkward. It seemed like it was supposed to be a big moment. The fact that everyone already knew kind of ruined it. We felt so bad. No one really talked to us for the rest of the party. Miranda and George wouldn't even look at us. When we left, we talked about how we shouldn't have said anything. Then again, we thought that it would have been weird if we congratulated them online and not acknowledge it when we saw them in person. We've been talking about whether we should have said anything. My girlfriend said no one from that side of the family has spoke to her since. Am I the asshole, or in this case, are we? Edited for spacing and paragraphs. Not the asshole. It isn't a secret when it's posted to social media. Not the asshole, I'm sorry, but it's posted online. My assumption is everyone knows unless specifically specified in the post. Could you imagine having to comb through a person's followers before you congratulate them for something they posted on social media previously? Come on. Also, is it common to redo a proposal for other people? It probably felt awkward because the whole thing was. At that point it seems scripted and not genuine. I can understand 2 wedding ceremonies, but 2 proposals where you are supposed to be a little shocked or surprised? That's weird to me. Absolutely not the asshole. Once folks post something to social media, all bets are off. You can't be expected to know who does and doesn't see their social media activity. Not the asshole. How were you supposed to know he was going to propose again at the barbecue? If Miranda had wanted it kept quiet, she should have waited to post about it on Instagram until after the barbecue. Not the asshole at all. They made a public announcement where people could see and expected no one to mention it? If they really wanted it to be a surprise, they should have said that in their post. Totally on them. Not the asshole if they wanted it to be a surprise. Then why did they post it publicly? Lol. Also, how performative to stage a second proposal just for the reactions or whatever. Am I the asshole for excluding my BIL's girlfriend at my anniversary dinner? I 29F and my husband Dan 27M invited close friends and family for dinner, and with their kids our guest list was 30. Most our friends are in long-term relationships and we are friends with their partners, but my brother-in-law Sam asked us if he could bring her girlfriend Rose of 1 month to the anniversary dinner. We met Rose once at my in-laws 2 weeks ago, and I don't know her well, but I didn't want brother-in-law to feel excluded at the event as we had invited other so we said yes. Before dinner, we played a quiz where the questions were on us as a couple, some inside jokes and about friends who were there. My Mo made me a video of some recordings from our wedding, and she had contacted other people from our wedding and they had recorded themselves wishing us a happy anniversary. Sam and Rose left earlier than everyone, but we didn't think this was unusual as Sam mentioned he was working the next day and he was going to leave earlier. Sam sent my husband a text to say Rose felt excluded at the dinner and it was really awkward for her so they left earlier. He said we could have included her a bit more and the quiz and wedding video was awkward for her and she didn't understand the quiz jokes and she didn't come to the wedding. He thought we could have accommodated her a bit more, especially as we knew in advance that she was coming and that it was cruel. Not the asshole. This was a party about your anniversary, not about BIL's new girlfriend, and there is no reason you should alter the party to cater to her. Perhaps you could have warned him up front that you were playing wedding video and having quizzes that might make her feel left out, but brother-in-law also could have asked. Maybe talk to brother-in-law and suggest that if Rose is important to him, you'd love to have just the 2 of them over for dinner sometime to get to know her. Not the asshole. This was an event to commemorate your anniversary, not a, let's all make the girlfriend of 1 month feel like the guest of honor, party. She's lucky she got an invitation at all. What exactly did Sam think you should do to accommodate her more than you did? Were they expecting a video and quiz about Rosé? If she didn't get the jokes, that was on Sam to explain them and try to include her. I'm wondering if Rose didn't have that much of an issue and Sam is kicking up a stink because he wanted to show off his new girlfriend and the attention was not on them. If this definitely is coming from her, then she sounds high maintenance and annoying. Don't let yourself get drawn into their nonsense, and congratulations on your anniversary. Not the asshole. There was a reason you didn't invite a short-term GF, but your brother-in-law insisted and then complains about it afterwards. It's not on you to change tour party plans to accommodate one person. Wait, she felt excluded from a dinner that is celebrating you and your husband? And she's only been dating brother-in-law for a month? No, you're not the asshole. That's freaking weird. Ladies got issues. Not the asshole. She's probably not gonna feel too included anyways since she's been around the family so little. It's not realistic to change the plans for an evening for one person. Cruel is way too strong of a word. Not the asshole, it was an anniversary dinner, not Friday night at the pub. What did they expect? Am I the asshole for leaving with my best friend after my girlfriend insulted her? I, 29M, have a girlfriend, Kathy, 26F, and a best friend, Ava, 28F. To clarify, my girlfriend is really good friends with my best friend and she's more than fine with our friendship. Ava and I have been best friends since we were kids. I grew up poor and she was rich, so she always made sure I ate and had a place to sleep. This girl is pretty much the reason I'm where I am currently. Even though I've got a job now, and try to offer to treat her, she insists on paying and won't let me pay her back. It's her thing. I gave up trying and I've seen her do with our entire friend group, so we just take it as a fun quirk of hers. Kathy is pretty much the love of my life. I want to spend the rest of my life with her, so what I did was incredibly tough. The three of us and Ava's boyfriend had gone out to eat. He had to leave early so didn't pay. Ava said she was going to pay. Then, in true Ava fashion, she went to the front desk under the pretext of going to washroom and paid the bill. Obviously I tried my, "let me pay you back, why'd you pay," things, but she wouldn't hear it. Then, out of nowhere, my girlfriend accuses her of implying that she's poor. Kathy said, "Listen, I know you like to pay, but I'm a fucking adult. I don't need you to pay for my meals like I'm a child." Ava seemed shocked and apologized. I was shocked too because Kathy doesn't ever act like this and has always been fine with Ava paying. I took her to the side and Kathy said, "I don't care if she's your best friend, she's making me look pathetic." She proceeded to insult her looks and her religion. I got angry, because Ava was genuinely just a sweet person. I told her maybe she needed time to cool off, and walked out with Ava. I called her an Uber and then drove back home myself. Kathy has her own car so could take herself. She had not been drinking either. When Kathy came home we fought because I left with her. Honestly, I don't know what's going on. Am I the asshole? And please help me on how to avoid such situations in the future. Maybe this is because I am not American, but I don't see anything wrong with Ava's behavior. This happens a lot in my culture too, especially if you invited someone, you are supposed to pay. I don't like how Kathy decided Ava was trying to insult her. Is Ava from a different culture than Kathy? Also, I think not the asshole for now. Not the asshole. Trust me, Kathy has a lot more issues with Ava than just her spending habits. You need to get Kathy to open up or accept that you don't know her as well as you thought you did. Just because your girlfriend is insecure does not mean she can insult someone's religion and looks. I would also not want to have a relationship with someone like that. AITA. The issue is your girlfriend is jealous and insecure. Your friend did nothing to warrant that outburst and insults. This woman may be the love of your life, but she's immature, rude, and trying to control who you choose as friends. Info. What does insulting her looks mean? Because you mentioned Ava is Indian and Kathy also insulted her religion. I feel like this is a girl that you would want to walk away from.